go. Temperature bliss, pretty good. Jesus. Oh, careful. I'm Anthony Carino. I'm a developer, designer, and a builder. I've built and renovated hundreds of homes over the last decade, both on TV and off. My next project, though, is something very personal. I'm taking an old firehouse in Jersey City that used to be an office, and I'm converting it into a home. My home. I'm going to take you through all the ups and downs along the way, and hopefully you can learn something from both my successes and my failures. It's going to be a wild ride. This is the Build TV, the Firehouse Project.
It's insane!
So this is the Firehouse. Let me tell you how we got here. Growing up, I always used to help my dad with home renovations and projects around the house, and I think that's really where I found my love for it. After college, dove into a business with my father. We had our own general contracting, development, and design company that we work in Jersey City and Hoboken, restoring old architecturally significant structures. So as our construction company was growing, we were looking for a proper headquarters. So the city was actually selling 6 different firehouses throughout the city. Showed up at City Hall. The firehouse that we wound up buying was the last one to go up for auction. We outbid everybody, and we wound up purchasing the firehouse for us to use as the headquarters for our construction company. So we've got this great old firehouse, we're using it as our office, and now I'm gonna convert it into my home. And in the process, I'm hoping to teach you guys a little bit about what's required from a homeowner's perspective when it comes to a home renovation. It's gonna take a ton of planning to make sure the execution happens. It's gonna be an awesome ride. Okay, so. The firehouse is currently an office. The upstairs is divided into cubicles with a conference area and a group workspace. Downstairs is a large garage and another smaller office space. So basically, I'll be designing a flipped living space for my home, with the master suite downstairs, and then upstairs are kitchen, dining, and living room. My office is up there, and then we've also got the walkout roof deck. So here's how my design process works. I basically put everything I want. My entire wish list goes into that plan from the get-go. We don't think about budget. Then, once we start quoting with the general contractors and we start looking at the budget we have available, we start to pull things out. So for my wish list, downstairs, we're going to take some of the existing garage space and turn it into our master suite with a rental unit. Upstairs will be my office, a guest bedroom and bath, living room and bar, kitchen and dining area, and then a walkout roof deck. And then in the basement will be a workshop and a workout area, and all the floors can be accessed by an elevator we'll be installing. Okay. So the main thing when I design is I work in chief architect. It gives me a ton of flexibility. I can move very quickly, and I get both a 2D floor plan and a 3D floor plan at the same time. So it really helps you figure out the space. When you jump to the 3D, you can really get an immersive feeling on how that floor plan is gonna look.
But we need to wait and see what we get.
So when I get into design, I get into design. I mean, it is very emotional for me. When you start to get frustrated, it's a great time to put it away and come back a few hours later, come back another day, but look at it with fresh eyes.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, you tired boy? Huh?
What's up, guys? So getting ready to head over to the firehouse. Gotta go meet the architect to do as-builts. So as-builts are just what they sound like. Existing measurements for the existing space as it stands today. This is important because my architect needs to make sure his measurements match my drawings. Watch your head here so he can design what I want or translate my design into AutoCAD. And I really want to open that basement up completely. So I'm glad I got my architect's eyes on the basement. He's able to get all the column locations so he can translate those to the construction drawings. But more than that, he told me that I definitely have to dig some test holes in order to see how much underpinning we are or are not gonna need to do to support the ceiling height that I'm trying to achieve.
I would do 6. 2 on these corners, 2 in the middle, and 2 in the front.
So 6 test holes, how deep?
2 by 2, and then just find the footing.
2 deep, find the bottom of the footing. So I can do it myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I want to. All right. Ooh, that's dark. There we go. Back to the basement. So, what do we got to do? Based on what Jensen told me, we got to put a hole in this corner, a hole over in that corner, 2 in the mids, and then 2 all the way down at the far end. And we're basically gonna dig from right here. We're gonna cut a 2 foot by 2 foot hole in the concrete, and then we're gonna dig down until we find the bottom of this wall that's right behind me. If the wall isn't deeper than 2 feet, we'll have to underpin the foundation, basically adding footings to support the building. Underpinning is a big, expensive job. Hopefully we won't have to do this. First hole is dug, mostly. It is, I got it to 18 inches deep, couldn't get the full 2 feet. There's just a ton of rocks and crap that's buried there, not 2 feet deep. So we're not off to a great start. Let's get moving to hole number 2. Not only are the foundation walls not deep, they don't go down at all. The existing floor is the bottom of the foundation walls. This building was built in 1896. They didn't build it for future expansion. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get some quotes on underpinning this basement.
What the heck happened, Ross?
Where do we leave off? We needed plans back from the architect. I have them. Everything's been updated. So now I'm just cruising through my scope of work with the plans open, making sure that any detail that's not on the plans that I want to be taken into consideration for quoting purposes is on the scope of work. That way, when the contractor has both documents in front of him, he can compare the two and go over everything, give me a full bid. As soon as I'm done with that, I'm sending them out to the 2 guys, the 2 firms that I have, plus the few that Jensen sent me, and then it's a waiting game. Rather than sit around and twiddle my thumbs for the next month while I wait for some numbers to come in, figured head over to the Firehouse with my dad and go through 8 years of stuff that we have in there and start cleaning some of it out. Containers delivered. They did forget the separators, so when you're doing scrap metal, you want to separate them. That's how you get the most money out of scrapping. You want your copper, you want your stainless, you want your iron, you want everything separated, because if you put it all in one box like this, without the separators, they're gonna weigh it at the lowest value. So they're just gonna take and give you an iron price for copper, an iron price for stainless, and those prices are much, much higher. So by separating them, we're gonna maximize dollars here. That money goes to contractors on the demolition side. Make sure we're maximizing absolutely everything. My dad is 70, crushed a 20-yard container full of scrap metal. Oh my God, it has been a minute since I have done labor work like that. Yeah, you're tired? You didn't help me much today, Ross. You know that? No help. Off to the Firehouse. We set out all the bid packages, right? So the different contractors have architect set of plans, my design set of plans, and the scope of work. So that's a lot of information, but it's all 2D. It's flat, it's on paper. All right, so my contractor Mateo is gonna be here in about 15 minutes. Contractors generally, especially with a renovation, want to see the physical space. There are just existing conditions that need to be taken into account.
You have the skylights for the roof, right? So just go general notes.
Coming out.
They're coming out and you're closing them up?
Closing them up.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Windows.
Renewal by Anderson. You want to be compiling all the questions you get. If possible, when they do their walkthrough, have the general contractor show up with the electrician, plumber, painter, basically anyone that needs to get their eyes on the space to give you a quote. You get everybody on site, you get everybody looking at all the things, asking all the questions at one time, but that felt like a really good meeting. It feels like everything is in process and they've got plenty of information to get a bid started. Just got a bid in, and I am very keen to see where this is going to be. Chase, what do you think it's gonna be? How much do you think it's gonna be? All right, hold on. So this is JC. She is a total badass. JC owns and runs her own business, Jane Do. It is a female empowerment-based workout. Her and her business partner, incredible at what they do. She is extremely funny. She's an amazing cook, and she's gonna be moving to the Firehouse with me.
Anthony and I met because my condo flooded.
And was staying in an Airbnb next door to me.
So I passed him in the hall and I thought his dog was so cute. I looked down at the dog before I really looked up at Anthony. But once I looked up, I was like, whoa, hit her.
You know, I like to say that she slid into my DMs.
He might have a different story.
But mine's the accurate one. But she is, she's more than just a girlfriend. I see this relationship going a lot further than where we're at right now. So I'm excited to get her input on this process and have her move in with me at the Firehouse. Chase, how much do you think it's gonna be?
$485.
$485? All right, we'll see. 1.25 million. $60,000 for demolition. I don't understand. I've done this more than most, so I should be prepared for this stuff. But the range of numbers that I'm seeing are astronomical. He's double on the elevator from the price that I got yesterday. We're more than double that on this bid. It's nowhere near the realm of possibility. I will say this though, the man took the time to put a bid together. I'm gonna have a conversation with him.
Dude, this number, to say it's higher than I anticipated, wow. Look, talking about things we don't usually do, I don't usually disclose the other bids that I get, but like, I'm at 325 from another contractor. If 325 may not be your number, but to get to 1.2 from 325 is miles and miles. Thanks very much, Bowie.
You know, sometimes you just get a ridiculous bid and you gotta throw it out. That aside, the other bids I am getting in are higher than I'd like. So one thing is clear, I'm gonna need to cut back. So the basement renovation and the elevator will become a project for another day. It won't affect any other part of the build, and we can always tackle these projects later. So we've got our design done. We've submitted everything to the building department. We're waiting on our permits. Now, back to the Firehouse. We're gonna grab JC and Rossi and dive into this layout. I'm really excited to see the physical size of all these rooms, the layout for the first time of what we're gonna actually build and create. What do they say in construction? Measure twice, cut once. So, the plan is, we've got our tape measure with us, and we've got our blue painter's tape with us, and we are gonna measure out and tape out on the floor plan that I've designed for the entire Firehouse to ensure that we are happy with how the space feels, the size of the rooms, the layout of the entire project. Do you think that's too narrow?
It's too narrow because if I imagine the cabinet open from here at the end, it feels pretty tight.
All right, so let's reset that then. Watch, Ross. Watch, buddy.
That tape is very cheap to take off the floor. Once that tape turns into a 2x4 wall, it just keeps getting exponentially more expensive to make changes.
Thank you.
Put that tape on the floor, figure out how these rooms feel, and go from there.
Into the kitchen, and then all the way to here is living room. Fire pole will be here.
We feel really good with the overall plan. I'm even more excited now, finally seeing the walls taped out in the physical space than I have been throughout this entire process. Any changes that are gonna happen are gonna be minor in nature, and that's gonna save us time and money through the physical process of construction.
It's okay, I got you.
All right, guys, so it's official. After running all my numbers, plugging everything into the spreadsheets, figuring out who I want to work with, I've decided to go with Matteo and the guys from FMR Contracting.
My name is Matteo. I am one of the owners of FMR Contracting.
They showed up with a full crew to do their walkthrough. They responded to every email, answered every question. They put together a comprehensive package, and I feel like their number was honest and right on. So excited to kick it off. Here we go. So we're about a month out from physical construction starting. This is my last meeting with my contractor before hammers start hitting the walls. It is super important to go over the schedule with your GC before his focus is on the physical space. Scheduling is my favorite thing to do. I freaking love it. I love it. I put in 5 days for every inspection, and I didn't let any inspection overlap. Meaning, you know, if plumbing had to go before electrical or fire, that's 5 days, so I'm adding like 10, 15, 20 days for inspections and just pissing time away. But you want to be able to say you are both in agreement on the timeline you have laid out. And I give him every opportunity to tell me, no, I need more time for this. That looks good. We could probably shorten that up. But the idea is you don't want to fool yourself. You've got to manage your own expectations so that you have the right expectations for the successful outcome of this project. And that means listening to the contractor when he tells you what that schedule needs to be. I feel really good about this. So if it all goes to plan, November 15th, which means I got 10 days to make sure the appliances work so that I can do Thanksgiving here. Now, if everything goes exactly according to plan, we'll be in for Thanksgiving. Have I ever seen that happen on a construction site? No, but it would be pretty awesome to have Thanksgiving here, so we're definitely gonna be pushing our hardest to make this happen. The day is finally here. We are kicking off construction. Now, to say this is the beginning of the project is a bit misleading, right? We have put a ton of work into this thing up to this point. You put that work in up front and the execution will be that much easier. Not easy, but easier. So, permits in hand, plans in hand, super stoked to kick it off. Gonna meet Mateo up there, who's my GC. You'll meet him shortly. And we get this whole thing moving, man. Really excited. All right. Talk us through how we want to start demo, kind of what you see as the best process through the maze.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much we're just going to come up here, start off with removing all the shelving on the wall, and pretty much start into the center spot here, and then work our way through. But I mean, it's pretty much cut and dry when it comes to demo. You know how it is.
Yeah, the nice thing is it is a gut up here, so absolutely everything is going. And when we say gut, that includes the electrical wires. One of the nice things, you're welcome, we're not pulling the floors up.
Yeah, I know.
These floors are all glued down, but I have 14 feet in ceiling height here to put the eco-warm panels down that are gonna be housing the radiant floors, and then to put new wood floors over that. I'm really not losing that much ceiling height. All right, awesome. So, time to make a mess.
Yeah.
Finally.
I'm excited.
Easiest way to get things downstairs, throw them down a hole. And there is the dumpster. So apparently I forgot that we had spray foam insulation in here. In all reality, how many days is this setup back, you think?
I would say probably like 3 to 4 days.
This is something that we definitely have to address and is gonna add time to our demolition time frame, which is right at the beginning of the job, which extends the entire job. So all these things are just the reality of the way construction goes. Demo always makes for quick progress. It really immerses you in the job. Feels really awesome, like things are moving super fast. And just like that, it's gone. Time to get the rough started. Anthony, come on up.
Oh, come on. Come on. Where'd our office go? Where did it go?
John works side by side with me at this office while our TV shows started taking off. We've done countless projects together and spent an inordinate amount of time in that office together. So I really wanted him to see it completely opened up at the beginning of the transformation.
So you walk up, you come up, and then all this is wide open.
Yeah, couches, chairs, fireplace in the corner by the window. And then this is 13-foot island, 18-foot galley, and the bar and wine fridge will be right here.
Cool.
This is the office.
This is the office here. So you have a great view of the park, Batman pole, straight down.
12 months of planning. And in 4 days, we dismantled this entire building. I cannot wait to start building this back. I'm excited too, like you know, you guys can be able to, we've got a guest room now, so you
Told
come
you.
down with the kids.
Come to the kids.
It's gonna
That's
be
it.
a pull out in the office. You and Jen have a bedroom, you know, we can have a couple of bottles of wine, you don't have to go home.
Or I just drop them off with you.
Oh,
you and JC.
okay.
You and JC.
Come on, let's go, come on.
You take care of the kids.
Save that thought. Coming up this season on the Build TV, we go room by room to show you what it takes to convert this old firehouse into a home.
Wow.
Subscribe or follow at thebuild.tv to make sure you don't miss any episodes.